Thomas the Tank Engine is owned by Mattel. No money is being made off this podcast. It's for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you.
You might think it's easy, sitting around in a dark shed with nothing to do but stare at a shed door, but once you roll back into the real world, you start to notice things you never noticed before. With no one around, it's easy to notice ghosts floating around, and the only one by your side in that moment is Jesus Christ. And to be honest, he's all you really need. I'm Percy the Green Engine, and this is the Specters of Sodor.
It just didn't make any sense. I was positive that I heard Edward's whistle at that small steel bridge near Crosby, but everyone, even Gordon, said Edward had been in the shed all day and never turned one wheel. So who did I hear? Was it the wind? Was it another engine I had never met before? Oh, why am I going on about this? I'll get more into that later. Anyway, I pondered this all night thinking who could it be, until the next morning, when Sir Topham Hatt came to our door again, but instead of coming over to me, he came over to Thomas.
Thomas, smaller goods trains have been very efficient. People are getting the supplies they need, and we're making a good amount of money. And since the people of Sodor still haven't gotten sick, I'm going to let more engines out of the sheds. Would you like to double head a train with Percy?
Yes, please, sir.
Wonderful. Off you go.
I'll get the train to the end of the line in 2 toots for us.
Wait, what? Hey! Wait for me! Whoa!
Hey, Edward, you might want to get going. You don't want to be late to say hello to them.
Good one, James. Although, I do wonder who he ran into out there. Unless it was... Nah, I doubt it.
I finally managed to take my mind off the strange whistle. It had been so long since I had pulled a goods train with my best friend, or done a job with him in general. So I started blabbering away about something Sir Topham Hatt had told me. But for some reason, Thomas seemed rather distracted. And Sir Topham Hatt finally concluded that these points near the Crosby Tunnel are in serious due of maintenance, so that's why we need to take this goods train around the other side of the Knapford Loop tomorrow, the side that goes next to our branch line, and... Thomas? Thomas, are you even listening?
So, this is what it's like.
What's like?
What it's like to puff down the main line with no one else around.
Yeah, it is like this. It's really lonely, especially when you're pulling a train by yourself. But at least we have our drivers and firemen.
Hey, Percy?
Yeah?
I never apologized for what I did to you, did I?
What do you mean?
When you first joined me on my branch line, I was afraid you would do a better job than me, so I would always brag and take my anger out on you. Sometimes even Toby. And when we did start to get along, I never said sorry. I was too busy thinking about, well, my place. So I asked Sir Topham Hatt if I could travel across the island more often, and...
Oh, I see.
It wasn't until Stanley arrived that I realized that not everything was about me. I thought everything I needed was fame and glory, but once it was gone and no one would talk to me, I understood. Not everything's about me. I had so many other things to appreciate, and now they're all gone. The branch line, the passengers, Annie and Clarabelle.
I'm sorry for your loss, Thomas. They were nice coaches.
Percy, if things ever go back to normal, I want to be a better friend, a better role model. I want to be the engine that should have been with you when I got my branch line.
Thomas, I forgive you.
Thanks, Percy.
What the... Edward?
Percy, Edward's in the shed.
Then how did I just hear his whistle?
What do you... I heard it.
Told you.
Where's it coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the viaduct.
Aside from the suspension bridge, the viaduct is the second biggest bridge on the main line. It was made entirely of stone blocks and was very strong. Me and Thomas raced towards it with the trucks rattling behind us. I was very curious as to what we might find. Was Edward there? Had he been lying? Was he taking secret trains on the main line? This statement was proven wrong. As we raced towards it, I suddenly saw someone in the distance.
Wait, what? What's that?
What?
It's another engine! Look!
Stop! The bridge is going down! Run! It's going to collapse! It's going to fall!
Luckily, we weren't on the same track as the engine, but the engine raced by us, whistling and screaming, until she was out of sight.
Who the heck was that?
I don't know. You're the one who usually meets all the new engines when they arrive.
It's gonna collapse? The viaducts never collapse.
You never know, Thomas. Not counting yesterday, it's been 3 months since anybody's traveled on the main line. The viaduct could be due for maintenance. Wait, where was she going anyway?
Me and Thomas were full of questions about who that engine was, why she was in such a panic, etc., etc., etc. Me and Thomas dropped off the train at Vickerstown and both went back to Tidmer's sheds. We kept our eyes peeled, looking for that engine again, but we never saw her. Once we reached the sheds, we brought it up with the other engines, although one was particularly quiet.
Percy was right about that whistle.
You got to be the one first to defend Percy.
Gordon, we're telling the truth. The engine just simply raced down the main line going way over the speed limit, crossed the bridge, and then was just gone in a flash.
What a daft engine!
Maybe he should read the rule book.
Something wrong, Edward?
Well,
Edward, are you okay? You look like you just saw a puddle of Torvenado fuel.
Wait, is that the engine you didn't want me to talk to?